Rian asks, what have you guys changed about your own approaches since starting the podcast?
Do you want to go first?
Yeah. I guess I've become a bit, I won't say more risk averse, but probably looking a bit more long term in my investment horizon. Looking at diversification and utilizing my tax-free wrapper of my ISA with some ETFs. And
Nice.
Yeah, nice. I want to sort out my LISA, and I also want to sort out my son's ISA, maybe SIP. But I mean, the thing is, I've learned so much on the podcast. It's like, okay, what do I want to do everything, but I can't do everything. So it's kind of targeting it. So for me, number one is the ETF in my ISA, and then number two is an ISA for my kid.
Yeah.
So those are my two priorities.
Yeah. For me, I've been spending more money. No, seriously, I just like reined in the investment. Like speaking to certain people, it's clearly it's more about happiness than it is about the numbers. And I save an aggressive amount of my income, a large proportion of it, 60%, 70% maybe of what I bring in some months. So I've just dialed that back and
spending more.
Yeah.
So basically, you're becoming more like me and I'm becoming more like you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm a bit more YOLO.
Yeah, you're a bit more YOLO. I'm a bit more like, let's be conservative.
It's about being happy, isn't it?
Yeah.
And, I lived for such a long period of time, like on not much money a month in terms of social and stuff, that I was kind of like ingrained into me. Whereas it's like, no, break off a bit and spend it every month. And
enjoy life.
Yeah. So that's probably it. Forgiving myself as well is the thing.
So we really are like the yin and yang. And we're just like, we're meeting in the middle for like nice, balanced happiness and healthy portfolios.
Yeah. I'm still investing a load of money, more than I need to probably, but I've dialed it back a bit so that I could spend a bit more.
I've actually reduced my crypto investments, monthly. Not the whole portfolio. It's all still there. Nice.
They do a good job of doing that themselves.
They erase themselves every month, just eroding away slowly my money, or quickly sometimes.
I mean, it's doing well at the minute.
It's doing well at the minute. But yeah, I think diversification, happiness is really important though, because I think you said when you have financial education or financial, it makes you like generally you live longer, you're more happy, and it is a lot. It's kind of like a game. I get and now I understand when you said, oh, every month I like to save and I move my money into these different pots, and it is fun because you're like, okay, I'm putting this for this, and you're like, I'm putting this money away for this reason, and this is long term, this is short term, this is medium term, and you kind of feel a bit more like holistic, a bit more balanced in your life. Before I had all my eggs, most of my eggs in one basket, and it was very stressful, even though I don't really get stressed, but it was like probably subconsciously I was probably like worried about it. But now it's like, okay, well,
you feel like a more solid foundation.
Exactly. And I feel a bit less guilty about like being so frivolous with my money, just like throwing it into a risky asset and then just kind of being like, oh, it'll be fine. But now it's kind of a bit more calculated and a bit more controlled. So and it's gone to other aspects of my life, like because I want to save more, I'm avoiding parking tickets, so I'm paying them off quicker, or sometimes, and driving less. Like different, like the more money you save, the more you can invest. So certain times I'm like, oh, I want to just eat tonight, I want to take away. I'm like, nope. If I save that 30 quid, I can put it in like my ETF or something. So it kind of changes every aspect of your life.
Yeah, and it's like over time, you'll do those little things with the index funds, and they'll build, and then it'll get to a point where like I'm at now, where it's like actually enjoy a bit of it. So I was out the other day for dinner and I bought dinner and it was like 150 quid. But I got a dividend while I was having dinner that was more than the dinner. And I was like, there we go. I earned more there off that dividend from the global index than I did for dinner. And that was a moment of like, you've been building this thing for 10 years, Damien, and now it's literally paying dividends, time to enjoy bits of it. Otherwise, I could so easily just sprint with my head down to the end of life and get to 80 and have millions of quid and be like, well,
I'll help you spend it, don't worry.
Yeah, what am I going to do now?
I'll be there at 50 like Damo.
Yeah.
Let's dip into this.
So yeah, now I break off like a chunk.
Have a good time.
Little 10 piece.
Still stayed in a crappy hotel last night though, didn't
you?
You?
Mate, it's awful that
Still,
hotel.
It's the old habits. You're trying to save the money. You should just pay more and got a nice
room. It's like 100 quid a night and it was like, but I'm tired today.